Today's video, I'd like to talk about how to deal with difficult people, the hidden path to enlightenment. So I'd like to talk about working with very, very difficult people. How do we approach this? When do we know when enough is enough? And when must we stay? Because that moment of difficulty is the very door to real enlightenment, real empowerment, true transcendence. If you're like me and you're part of a fraternity, a church, a fellowship, something you pour your heart and soul into because you believe it serves the world, you will eventually meet difficult people. People chasing titles, people whose pride and ego make them nasty, cruel, or manipulative. And look around and think, how pathetic that in a volunteer organization meant to serve humanity, people are still fighting for position, status, or control. But let's be honest, the only reason anyone does this is because they're compensating. They're compensating for insecurity, for fear, for lack of confidence in who they really are. So you'll see this in fraternities and churches and temples and 12-step groups in the world. This is a recurring theme. The fragile ego seeking validation. And if you've been walking this path for some time, you already know the highest truth. The one that will anger you before it frees you is that we are all one. You don't get there through belief. You arrive through inquiry. As Ramana Maharshi said, you must first ask, who am I? Until you know that, no other question matters. Anyone who's ever truly sought to find themselves has never discovered an object they can point to and say, this is me. Because everything you can observe, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, is not you. You are the awareness witnessing them. When you look deeply enough, you will find that everything you once thought was you, the body, the mind, the story, all arise in awareness. And if you turn awareness upon itself, you let it rest in itself, there's no longer an observer and a thing observed. There is just being. That's what Ramana Maharshi meant when he said consciousness is awareness with an object. Withdraw from the object, from thoughts, from feelings and identities, and simply be aware of awareness itself. That is the direction of the I Am. And if you recall, I Am is the most sacred name of God. I Am is not just theology, it is the source, the law of attraction, the secret of all scriptures. All of it begins there. I Am. When you become aware of awareness and stay there until you see the source, you realize we are all one. Not as a concept, not as a belief, but as truth itself. There is no clear border where you end and the universe begins. Quantum physics knows it. Biology knows it. Mystics have always known it. And once you truly know that you are awareness, then you are, in the truest sense, enlightened. Self-realization then is not about gaining anything new. It's about letting go of everything false, every attachment, every illusion that pulls you out of that recognition. It's not attainment, it's surrender. It's a loss of everything you thought you were. But then you still have to live. You still have to work. You still have to deal with difficult people. And here's where the real test begins. Because those people, those egotists, those aggressors, those manipulators, they become your mirror. They are the agitators that pull you out of your center, the ones who reveal where your work remains undone. Jesus knew this better than anyone. On the cross, betrayed, tortured, humiliated, and yet his awareness never faltered. Instead of hate, he felt compassion because he saw clearly the tragic ignorance of those harming him. He saw that they were condemning themselves to suffering through that blindness. And his words, "Father, forgive them," were not theology. They were, in truth, the recognition that we are all one. He said, "The Father and I are one." And when accused of blasphemy for saying he was the Son of God, he reminded them, doesn't Scripture say, "Ye are gods"? That wasn't arrogance. It was revelation. He was saying we are infinitely unique, yet all perfect expressions of God. Jesus' real name means one who saves through I am. Every human being is God discovering himself through 8 billion people. 8 billion personalities, 8 billion fragments of light. As Kabbalah teaches, the purpose of existence is to reunite all those scattered sparks of divine light until God through us becomes one person, one with God again. The illusion of separation is the root of all suffering. Pain, emotional or spiritual, is the alarm bell reminding you that you've forgotten who you are, that you've been too far out of alignment, which is your nature, which is unity. When we fight, when we hate, when we act from pride, like it's twisting a joint the wrong way, pain is to recall to return to wholeness. So when you're faced with someone cruel, ignorant, or unbearable, remember that person is you, appearing in a different form. Every enemy, every abuser, every rival is you playing another role in the great play of God discovering himself. And love, true love, is the moment duality collapses. It is the lived experience of unity. It is the recognition that we are one. The deeper the pain, the greater the opportunity to dissolve another layer of illusion. Some of the best friendships, some of the deepest loves began as bitter conflicts because the soul recognizes itself in the one it once resisted. Still, discernment matters. Not every relationship should continue. You don't have to accept abuse or remain where there's no willingness to heal. Sometimes walking away is wisdom. Sometimes you must return to the lesson later when you are stronger. Because every soul, every conflict, every heartbreak, they're all part of the same divine curriculum. As A Course in Miracles says, free will does not mean that you get to choose the curriculum. It means only that you can choose the order in which you take it. And when you postpone a lesson, be careful. It will return later, often harder, until you are ready. So when life places difficult people before you, don't rush to escape. Don't collapse into resentment. Look into the mirror of that behavior and see where God is still trying to wake himself up in you. Because the play is already written. As Emerson, Lake and Palmer said in the song, The Endless Enigma, each part was played, but the play was not shown. Everyone came, but they all sat alone. The dawn opened the play, breaking the day, causing a silent hooray. Now that it's done, I've begun to see the reason why I'm here.